Kia ora everyone, buckle up, we're going to be talking about some really bizarre LEGO choices again today. This will likely be a video that's more leaning towards a negative outlook, so if you're not interested in that type of tone, just letting you all know up front. Today we're going to be talking about LEGO Smart Play, a new initiative for the toy brand for 2026, and today I'm specifically talking about it in relation to LEGO Star Wars. We have some leaked set ideas for 2026, these are all releasing in March, and the entire wave is going to be based around this idea of Smart Play, some electronic brick stuff. As this is a leaks and rumors based video, things are subject to change at any given time. There are timestamps down below for all those who want to just go jumping around. If you enjoy this video, liking and subscribing here helps me to keep the lights and mics on. I appreciate any of the support that you throw my way. So what is Smart Play? In early 2025 we had some minor leaks from LEGO City sets. I believe what happened was test kits were sent out to people, or people came in to try out some toy products. These images leaked online of the upcoming sets. Every article that I was reading was listing the dates of March 2025, and I guess these were pushed back into next year instead. Like, they appear on Brickset and everything, they're just yet to have been released. And this is the first that we learnt of the Smart Bricks line, in which one of the sets feature a Smart Bricks, the others have some compatibility with that piece. It's basically a brick that features some electronic features, it's got lights and or sounds. And set number 60691, the Jungle Explorer Base Camp, is the upcoming LEGO City set that features the brick there for these releases. The other two sets there feature some compatible components. It's very similar to the LEGO Mario line, which is arguably LEGO's most successful venture into electronic releases, and even then, many would argue against this play idea. We can see from these images some tile bricks there which seem to indicate a type of interactive play feature, sounds here for the environment, some light up features for the volcano, and more surprising are the minifigures which can apparently give out some noises. This is an official image of the pattern of the electronic based figure. We can see a chip or something that's kind of been stuck inside the torso. The torso is permanently connected to the hips piece, so those legs will not be removable. I'm not sure about the arms though, the head should be fine to take apart. These electronic figures here feature some form of a QR code like pattern on the back of the torso. There's also some side torso printing, which is a rarity for minifigures, but the printings are just warning signs and copyright dates and junk like that. It's all technical stuff to clearly indicate that this is a piece of tech. The minifigures are also said to be heavier than normal and feature some wireless charging components. The concern here, of course, is that these figures are going to be expensive, far more expensive than what LEGO already charge for LEGO Star Wars releases. So now that we've covered what this new toy initiative is, let's talk about LEGO Star Wars. All this information here comes from BrickTap, a reliable leaker in the field. There are 8 sets releasing in total for March of 2026. 3 of these sets will feature smart bricks needed for your play functions, along with a wireless charger for charging your kit, smart minifigures, and smart tags, which were the tiles that we just covered. These are considered to be, quote, all-in-one base sets. While the remaining 5 sets there will feature compatible aspects which consist of smart minifigures and smart tags. This is, I think, a good place to say that all of these sets are repeat ideas that we've seen countless of times in the past. There's genuinely nothing new here for older collectors, which I think is actually a good thing for consumers like myself. If you don't like the sounds of things here, it means you're not going to be missing out on anything important by skipping them. I am going to go out of order here and cover the main all-in-one type releases first, and then we'll talk about the compatible releases. So these sets here include a smart brick for your lights and or sounds, a charger for the brick, the minifigures that feature sounds, and tile bricks as well. The first of these all-in-one sets is set 75421 Vaders TIE Advanced, 473 pieces in total with the price of $70 USD before tax. It's about 120 to 130 NZD. We have 2 figures for the time being, Darth Vader and apparently a rebel soldier. Vader here will be a smart minifigure with sounds and a battery included. Side builds included are a rebel turret of some kind and some sort of a smaller Imperial base build. No other description has been provided. And the smart brick will be able to interact with these builds. I think the brick will be built into the vehicle for most of these releases, so I guess you fly the toy over these sections and that's how you get your noises or your lights or something. Some people have suggested that the builds are all smushed together or something. This set here is set 8017, released in 2009. It only consists of 251 pieces in total. I think it still looks pretty good as well, so this is the bar for what they need to meet for me to be impressed. They can easily make a substantial side build there with those remaining pieces, so we shouldn't be expecting anything less here in my eyes. LEGO would just be shooting themselves in the foot otherwise. The next set here is set 75423 Luke's X-Wing, 584 pieces total, so it's a bit of an increase there compared to Vader's ship, $100 USD before tax, about 180 NZD. Oh yeah, it's a pretty big jump compared to Vader's ship. 5 minifigures here are listed though, smart figures of Luke and Leia, so some sets will actually be including multiple smart electronic minifigures. We then have 3 regular figures of a Stormtrooper, a Rebel Technician, and R2-D2. Side builds here include an Imperial turret this time around, a Rebel ground crew vehicle, and some other form of a Rebel build to interact with. It makes perfect sense to me to release another one of Luke's X-Wings for some brand new theming thing for this line. It pairs well with Vader's set here. The concerning thing is the last X-Wing build to release all on its own was this rescaled one from the early 2020s. This thing here is built out of 474 pieces total. That doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room for a turret build, a small vehicle of some sorts, and apparently something else entirely. I take this as the confirmation that these sets will be drastically undersized here, so I'm expecting this one to have quite a bit of pushback from the community. Also, 2 electronic figures here is what increases that price point by quite a substantial amount. The final all-in-one set here is set number 75427, Throne Room Duel. Oh, of course, we're going to see a remake of this one. The set has 962 pieces in total, pretty high up there, $150 USD before tax, which is around 260 NZD. Yes, very pricey here. As for the smart figures, 3 of them are included this time around, with Luke, Vader, and the Emperor. I have to assume that Vader is going to be a straight reuse from his TIE ship then, which almost makes that set pointless right out the gate. Our extra figures include an A-Wing pilot and 2 Royal Guards there as regular releases. The leak claims that 2 smart bricks are included here as well. The build is said to be the throne room, which we've seen plenty of times in the past, now featuring a dueling area on some axle pieces, very similar to the Jedi Duel set that released for Revenge of the Sith back in 2005. Side builds of another turret cannon build and apparently an A-Wing, they're attached onto the side of the throne. It sounds like a very weird release to me. The last throne room we got on its own was a diorama set, which I actually think fits this description pretty well given the extras and axle features that are just combinations on the sides. The build is around 800 pieces total. I doubt we can get a turret and an A-Wing for the extra 162 pieces. Previous throne room playsets ranged from around 780-ish pieces, but again, I doubt LEGO will be releasing it to this scale. Even so, there's still not a lot of wiggle room there for those side builds. So let's talk about some compatible stuff now. These are the in-between sets that build out the wave. Again, these sets here are said to include a smart minifigure or 2 and smart tile pieces for interactive play, but there will be no smart brick included, which means you won't be able to engage with the interactive features unless you buy one of the 3 all-in-one sets that we just talked about. So the first set here and the cheapest of the March wave, set 75420, is another Lukes Landspeeder. Unreal, man. 255 pieces in total, $40 USD before tax is the price point. That's about 70 NZD, which I believe makes it the most expensive play scale Lukes Landspeeder set released. The smart minifigure here is of course a Farm Boy Luke figure who actually already leaked online. I won't show the image here, but you can find that for yourself. Regular figures here include a Jawa and a Gonk droid, which is interesting. A side build there of a small hut for the Jawa that will probably feature the smart play function. So the description does point out that these are considered to be regular sets through and through, pricey because of the smart minifigure included, and it's yet another Landspeeder. How amazing. Now the next set is set 75422 Dagobah Training. We went years without a remake and now I think we've had 3 in the last decade. 440 pieces in total for this set, priced at $70 USD before tax, 120 NZD then for us. The same price as the Vaders TIE set and it features less pieces too. But we get 2 smart minifigures here, Luke in training gear and Yoda, with a regular figure of R2-D2 there for extra. The main build of course is going to be Yoda's hut, with a side build of a tree, and there's some hidden component there that lifts up a large crate build, as though Luke is using the Force. The smart brick will be able to interact with this aspect. I guess it's cool to see that we're getting some smaller play scale releases, so it's not just vehicles and the throne room. I'm very curious to see how this one plays out because presumably the throne room is all interconnected. This feels like, to me, it will seriously feel like it's a tacked on inclusion if the tree and crate are separate like this. Then next up we have set 75424, this is an ATST, only 347 pieces total though, which is very concerning, priced at $50 USD before tax, which is closer to 90 NZD. It includes just one smart figure, which is why those numbers are odd compared to the Yoda set. Smart figure of a Scout Trooper and a regular figure of maybe an Ewok, the leaker is unsure. A speeder bike build is included here as extra, and the leaker points out the massive head for the ATST build, so one must assume that that aspect has some sort of a smart tile inclusion or something. I'm also thinking it's going to be similar to like the Juniors one that released some years back. That's only 80 pieces, but bear with me here. At 347 pieces, I cannot imagine what this is supposed to look like. The usual playscale walkers are around 550 pieces, so I'm thinking that this will probably be some sort of an in-between model. It's another one that I'm very curious to see some more of. And then set 75425 is the Mos Eisley Cantina, another playset, which is really cool to see, and one that we haven't seen in a while. 666 pieces total, that's a really bad sign. It's $80 USD before tax, about 140 NZD. It's said to include just one smart figure of Greedo, and then some regular figures of 2 Bith musicians, a Sand Trooper, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and apparently we could see some more revealed later on. The leaker is not yet sure on the exact amount of minifigures included. It's also said to be very similar to the 2014 model on screen now, which actually does track. This great playset is built out of 616 pieces in total. And the side build here is said to be a brick-built model of the dewback, which could possibly be the same scale as this microfighter build. So I think there is a bit of wiggle room there to have something similar to this scale with the additional build of that creature. Interactive aspects included, probably within the dewback build. Less figures here listed though compared to the 8 that we saw in this set. And then finally we have set 75426, the Millennium Falcon, and yeah, it's been quite a while since we had a regular release of this set. 885 pieces in total with a price of $100 USD before tax. That's about 170 NZD, which also I believe makes it the cheapest Millennium Falcon playset released in the modern day. The smart figures here included of Han Solo and Chewbacca, with a regular release of C-3PO and currently an unknown type of Farm Boy Luke. It could either be a reuse from the Landspeeder set or it could be a regular figure. I think it'd be very bizarre if LEGO have a regular figure of Farm Boy Luke and a smart figure of Farm Boy Luke released on shelves at the same time in the same wave, but we'll have to wait and see. There's no real description for this set either. There's no confirmed side builds or anything, which really makes this set stand out as an anomaly release. Every set here has included some weird tacked on extra, usually a turret, which is interesting, and that's clearly the interactive aspect. An 880 piece model is very small compared to what we've seen recently. The last traditional playscale Falcon that released was for the Rise of Skywalker in 2019. That set there features 1,350 pieces total, but the price was 170 USD, that was about 300 NZD. This new set almost cuts things by half. This midi-scaled Falcon set is 921 pieces in total, and it is not compatible with your minifigures, but that's because it's using some micro pieces there. I fear that this is the type of release that we might be expecting though. I wonder if the figures can properly interact with the set. All of these scales for the sets just sound insane and stuff that we haven't really seen before in previous releases. Overall, I have to say I'm not feeling excited about these upcoming LEGO Star Wars releases. I'm very curious though, of course, because I want to see what all these look like. The scales all sound so off, where some of the models sound like they could work out really well, while others sound like they're just really gonna miss that mark. The prices also feel much higher than the current ones that we already complain about, so I can't imagine that this will go over well. It all just seems like a current fad that LEGO just really want to get themselves into for reasons that I can't explain. I don't know how many people would want this in their toys, and the response that I've seen online is overwhelmingly negative. The parts that have kind of killed their original themes were all these interactive app-based play features. People just don't really want that when they're buying these toys. And the real concern to have here is just how hard are LEGO going to be pushing this. The streets seem to be suggesting that this is going to be a play theme that branches into tons of releases next year. The upcoming theme of Pokemon is already listed as having some smart play aspect releases, and we just saw that LEGO City has a couple of them as well. Part of me is expecting every current LEGO theme to incorporate smart play, superheroes, friends, Ninjago. One way or another, we're probably going to be seeing this for a lot of releases. We'll have to wait and see how the market responds to all this, but if history is anything to go by, I imagine this is not going to go down very well for the LEGO team. I could be wrong, and the community has proven that they will consume the products they don't like anyway, but for now, all we can do is wait. Thanks for watching this update video. If you enjoyed this coverage, liking and subscribing to the channel does help to support more videos like this one in the future. Ka kite anō, take care everyone, hope to see you all next time.